Sponsors of the anti-LGBTQ bill in Parliament were unhappy after seeing inscriptions on some billboards they say promote the activities of LGBTQ plus community in Ghana. They had a word for the IGP.
Homosexuality and bestiality are illegal even as we speak today. And so any advertorial that seeks to promote anything contrary to what our Criminal Offences Act deems right and what our culture and tradition deems right and the Constitution deems right is an affront to the Constitution. And we're enjoined by the Constitution, I believe in Article 3, to rise up in defense of the Constitution anytime we see any activity or action that is inimical to the Constitution. And that's why we have given a 24-hour notice to the authorities from the IGP to the MC for the area to let them know that that billboard should not have been erected in the first place, or the advertorial on the billboard should not have been erected in the first place. And in 24 hours, if we do not see action taking, this has been in the news for over 72 hours. We've not seen anything. We've officially drawn the attention to it today. Failure to act within the next 24 hours, we'll see us as citizens rise up in defense of the Constitution and take down that billboard.
The LGBTQ plus community in Ghana reacted.
So my question is, what was the message on that billboard that is incriminating or that is criminal, so much so that they are calling on the police to pull down the billboard? And one will ask that a country that is so outraged over a billboard that speaks about love, tolerance, acceptance, as compared to all the negative experiences that we're experiencing in this country, is one that we really need to critically ask ourselves these hard questions. That where does our priorities lies? Which part of those rights, responsibilities, and even in our criminal code, have we breached any part of it as a result of mounting that billboard?
Ghana recorded its first case of monkeypox disease.
We have recorded 5 cases. They are all well, nobody is critically ill, and that we continue our surveillance to ensure that all cases that are identified and isolated.
Health experts recommended a review of the COVID-19 protocols as 2 new strains of the Omicron variants were detected.
So you get it through the fluid. So especially if you have lesions on that particular person and the lesion happens to get on you, there should be a breach. So if there is a cut anywhere on the skin, because it cannot actually go through. So if there is a cut, then that virus will get entry through the blood system and get into. So that is one way of getting it, because if you even look at the presentation and how it's going to present when we discuss it.
The Agbogbo of the Asogli State, Togbe Afede, rejected over 300,000 cedis ex gratia paid him for serving on the Council of State. Governance experts described such continuous payments as a drain on the economy.
What Togbe has done is to dramatize one of the ways, of many, many ways, as we say, that this country wastes resources. And he made a very telling point about how the elites in this country are dissipating the scanty resources that we have. Listen, he says, this is a purely voluntary work. And members of the Council of State are generally people of accomplishment in their lives. We don't put anybody riff-raff on the council. Somebody who has worked, experienced, most often retired from their positions with their own pensions and emoluments. Then you come on a council, and as he said in his statement, you pay him regularly every month with other privileges that we didn't go into details, but I believe includes perhaps a car, a driver, a travel allowance, petrol. Then after all that, something that is purely voluntary, you send 300,000 plus.
But Togbe Afede had a contrary view.
It's surprised that he of all people, when I say he of all people, he will be surprised. He will know why I'm saying I didn't expect that from he of all people. But unfortunately, some people live by their, focus on their stomachs in the kind of things that they do.
With prices of goods and services skyrocketing, shoppers told us how they were adjusting their grocery list.
I came to do shopping for the house and we couldn't buy anything.
Today now I budget like 3 point something. I came here now it's 4 point something.
Some economists had their solution on the country's inflation. We also got an explanation from some women in Choco on why they have chosen to use diapers over sanitary pads for their menstruation.
The
prices it's just outrageous, and it keeps increasing every day. It's becoming expensive to menstruate.
And that's a wrap of the week with me, Hannah Odame.